Happy Halloween, everyone. This is Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind-the-bar reviews for One Piece. One Piece chapter 961. Let's get underway, guys, because honestly, this night is, of course, it's Halloween night. There's a lot going on and stuff, so this is honestly going to be very brief, and I'm kind of grateful. I'm kind of grateful to this chapter because, in all honesty, what happens? Kinemon fights the boar from last chapter. The god of the mountain. The mountain boar shows up and is eating away at the flower capital, right? We find out Otsuru has been eaten by it, along with a number of other villagers. Kinemon tries to fight it. Draws blood. Does pretty good, but fails. Oden defeats it. Cuts it down. He's disowned. Hirogoro walks away. And Denjiro and Kinemon follow Oden from this point on. After he's disowned at the age of 18, and he goes to his uncle Yasui, who we, of course, very well know. What a fantastic moment in Wano. And we get introduced to the lowly errand boy of Lord Yasui, Orochi. And that's where we end the chapter, right? So that's a very, very brief, quick summary of what goes on. But I'm glad for that because I don't really have all that much time to get into a very in-depth 25, 30-minute review, right? So suffice to say, I've given you guys the brief overview. And I just want to say, all right. I think a lot of people already talked about this. I think a lot of people already called this. And I know that Tekken 101 made a comparison video to Hercules about the character of Oden. Is that he does things like, remember, he changed the direction of a river to help Wano. It ended up flooding it, but the intention was good. Right from that point, we knew that Oden was a character who people looked on as being disrespectful, as being a tornado, a hurricane of destruction. Wherever his footsteps went, people, cowered because he brought destruction in his wake, but it was all well intended. He never did anything, from what we have seen, he never did anything other than the benefit of Wano. I guarantee you, he went to the gambling halls because people were being crooked about it. He wanted to stop the crooked gambling hall industry. That's why he fought against the Yakuza, because the Yakuza fought him because of a misunderstanding. He was like, no, I was just trying to stop the corruption within your casinos. I was fine with the casinos. I just wanted, I guarantee you, every single story that we know about that took place, like age of 2 he did this, age of 4 he did that, age of 8 he did this, guarantee you every single one was for the benefit of somebody else or the benefit of the people of Wano, and everybody misinterpreted it. Because even here, we know Kinemon stole that boar from 3 vagabonds that we have no idea who they really are. And he stole that for the 1 platinum coin, just as they did. Oden takes the blame for this. The people of Wano, Kinemon tries to stand up and tell people after Oden cuts the boar down, it's like, the god of the mountain came down because he's after his very precious white boar puppy child thing, right? And everyone's like, where's the piglet? Where is this damn thing? Why would you take it? And everybody believes that Oden took it because Oden said, give that to me. I'm going to go appease the god. And then he cuts him down or whatever. And it's kind of left ambiguous if he says, I'm ready for some boar stew. It's kind of left ambiguous whether the boar is actually killed by this. It seems like he not only destroyed the teeth of this giant boar, but cut into his entire jawline, lopping off half of his head, like some underworld evolution shit. I don't know, but maybe I missed a small panel there. Sometimes I do miss stuff, guys, especially with One Piece. For some reason, I always skim over the real detail. Well, there's the boar's body, in the background. I tend to miss that a lot, so correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, whether this is dead or not, it does become relevant at the end of this chapter, because suffice it to say, the people are just kind of like, they automatically, like, Kinemon tries to stand up and say, look, this was not Oden. I'm going to tell you the truth about what just happened here. And Oden's like, nah, I kidnapped him and stuff. It's like, don't say a word, Kinemon, like, bam, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just like, he takes the fall for everything, things that aren't even his fault. When he's the savior, he's the hero. But it's odd because enough of the people wanted, that's why I'm saying, because if this was a one-incident thing, if this had only happened one time, the entire populace would be against Oden, right? He takes his disownment, he walks away, blah, blah, blah. Denjiro and Kinemon follow him, da-da-da. No big deal. And also, the people that the boar ate, like Osuru, apparently the boar was so masked that he ate them whole, and they were totally fine once Oden cut him down. So that tells me that the boar is dead. That giant god of the mountain is dead, 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 dead. D-E-A-D, dead. Because they cut him open and got all the people out. So, clearly they cut open his stomach, so he dead. The thing is that there are so many people that when he leaves, when he gets that letter saying, you know, from last chapter, saying, like, you've been disowned and stuff, Oden takes it in stride and says, okay, I'm going this way. See you later, everybody. Banned from the flower capital. No big deal. I'll leave. So many people think, like, damn, I wish I could go with him. Man, he was so cool. He was so helpful. He's such a hero and stuff. A lot of people revere Oden, but nobody's willing to say it. And that leads me to believe that this is not an isolated incident. Similar to the bending of the river, similar to the Yakuza gambling hall, similar to anything else that has happened in his life, it looks on paper like mayhem and destruction, a hurricane, a tornado, a natural disaster of problems. But the people of Wano have seen that it's not Oden's fault. Oden is just stupidly strong. He is their Hercules, and he is trying to correct. He's trying to correct issues in the way he thinks is the best way. He's just trying to help. And unlike most ungrateful people in, like, Spider-Man movies and shit like that, he's acknowledged. Unlike Batman and Spider-Man, you know, some westernized ideals, here in this Wano arc, the people of Wano, they see this plain as day. They realize, no, you know what? He might be good for us. He is actually cool. He's helpful. Yes, he does some things that we're not agreeing with, but he's more helpful than bad. He is so cool. He's trying to help. He's a hero. He's, you know, without him, this boar would have rampaged. And they realize, like, well, if Oden hadn't stopped this boar would have destroyed the entire flower capital. Though Hirogoro had shown up and he was like, all right, good job, kid. Let's go, boys. Hirogoro was ready to step in. So that means that Hirogoro could have taken out this mountain god too. So I really like that scene. The end part of the chapter, as I said, showcases that he goes, after being disowned, Oden goes to Lord Yasui. And we see him and he's just like, yeah, well, don't call me uncle, you know, you little brat, you're disowned, blah, 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 blah. And we see Yasui in his prime, looking like a baller with his afro and stuff. And then he says, and then there's this little, like, Kobe-level errand boy to Alvida sort of level of person, like, fawning over Oden, fawning over Yasui, being like, please punish me, some Dragon Ball Z abridged Broly movie 8, like, step on my genitals, fucking character, right? We get that with this character, this errand boy. Yeah, meet my new errand boy. His name is Orochi. And then we see Orochi. Buck teeth, little kid. So he scraped his way up. I have said this. This chapter made me happy. And this is the end part of the review, guys. Because that was the chapter. It's pretty straightforward. It was good. I want to see more of this. But I think this is our jump away. We get a break next week. We're not going to follow Oden flashback anymore. We're going to jump back to the present. However, given this information, I think it's clear that what I have been saying for so long, for months, is that Orochi was a user. Orochi was the snake in the grass, biding his time and waiting. I've been saying that because it fits. The Yamato no Orochi. Some people think it's a dragon, but a lot of the times it's referred to as a snake. It can be snake or dragon, but it fits. He's a snake. He's just waiting there. He's a serpent ready to strike, at any time when he sees weakness. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've owned some snakes in my time, They're okay pets and stuff. But you need to know how a snake hunts to understand this symbolism to its core. Orochi, Oda didn't make a mistake by making him the Yamata no Orochi. Snake-like to a degree that is so sublime. Snakes don't even, no matter how big they are, the biggest of snakes will not just go after a rodent and devour it. It'll wait for the rodent to get at ease, cocky, or even wait until that thing thinks it's safe. Like, I have had a couple of snakes. My uncle has owned a couple of snakes, and I can tell you this. They don't just eat their food. You drop a mouse, you drop a rat, you drop anything in that cage, that snake ain't eating it right away, no matter how hungry it is. It waits. It bides its time. Waits until that thing is at its most vulnerable, whether out of fear or whether out of some false sense of security, is irrelevant. Thing waits to strike. Orochi is that snake. Orochi is that goddamn snake in the grass. And this just goes to show you how Orochi has been so twisted. This is how Kaido infiltrated. That's what I'm telling you. I said it before. I think that Oden was handicapped in the fight against Kaido. I honestly believe that Oden had a shot at killing Kaido. Or at least defeating him. Like, Kaido, you are not taking over Wano. I will stop you. I believe Oden could have done it at 100% 1v1. At this point, this chapter confirms that theory to me. Is that Kaido never would have infiltrated if it wasn't for whether it's poison, whether it's some type of handicap, some kidnapping, some... Kaido, I made a deal with Kaido. Here's your wife and children. I will shoot them right now unless you fall to Kaido and agree to be captured. Drop your swords out and something like that. Some hostage situation. Something happened. Because Kaido was not taking over Wano with Oden there. Without some type of handicap. I'm sorry. This dude might have possibly have been, after leaving the country of Wano, he might have been the world's greatest swordsman. He might have been the one before Mihawk. Or at least he might have been a contender. Because the dude is just showcasing feats that, like, we think are Shanks level and stuff. Luffy is sitting there called the 5th Emperor at a 1.5 billion berry bounty. What the hell did he do by 18? I mean, by 18, okay, I grant you that. But what the hell did he do by 12? The feats Oden did by 12 are almost on par with everything that Luffy has done in One Piece. And this was on one island. Imagine if Oden had been let loose at 2 years old. Like, he's on the level of some Big Mom shit. Literally, Charlotte Linland, age 5. Oden was that level, age 5. So, I'm really stoked for this, just this Wano arc. I don't understand why people do not like this Wano arc. I don't get it. Wano is hype. Wano is great. Oden is great. Everything is great. One Piece is great. That's the end of the review, guys. What did you think of the chapter? What did you think of the review? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment, as always. It's always very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that bell notification if you guys want to know every single time I drop a video on you. Happy Halloween once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go up and watch Halloween, John Carpenter's original Halloween. Kind of a tradition. Watch it every year on Halloween. This is Griever. Drink responsibly. See you next time.